Hey guys, I'm back, and today I'm going to be showcasing and reviewing the Genround 2-in-1 Bluetooth transmitter and receiver. Enjoy and be sure to subscribe. So as I mentioned, here I have the Genround 2-in-1 Bluetooth transmitter and receiver, and this is me taking it out of the box. But what does that actually mean, right? What is a transmitter and what is a receiver? Well, basically the device works like this. Let's say you want to connect an audio playback device, such as a phone, to a set of speakers or even a subwoofer that has a standard 3.5mm headphone jack. But you didn't want to use the headphone jack, you wanted to connect the two devices via Bluetooth. But let's say either the phone or the speaker does not have Bluetooth capability, and so you have no way of connecting them without a direct wire. That's where this comes in. So here I have the Genround 2-in-1 adapter that I mentioned before. I have a lot of stuff on my table, most of it I'm going to be using for this video, so I'm going to leave it around. Like I have an iHome and I have a PS Vita. This will all be explained in a minute. Basically, the idea behind this, like I said before, is to give one of the two devices you're using, be it the device that plays the music or the device that renders the music, so be it, either the phone or the speaker, the iPod or the speaker, the iPod or the headphone, whatever. If one of those devices does not have Bluetooth, this will give Bluetooth to that device. So, I already mentioned all that. So here we're going to be testing it out, right? So here I have a Bluetooth and non-Bluetooth speaker, basically. It has Bluetooth capability, but you can also connect directly through wire if, say, you want to do that instead. There are some ups to that, you do take a little bit of a hit in terms of bass quality when you use Bluetooth, because there's just simply not enough energy that can be sent through a wave, as opposed to a wave through a cable. It just makes sense, right? You get more current that way. So anyway, the reason I brought this along is I'm going to pretend that the Bluetooth does not exist on this, and I'm going to show how this adapter really works. So even when we're in the non-Bluetooth mode, I can use this adapter to give it Bluetooth as if it had no Bluetooth capability whatsoever, because I actually don't own a pair of speakers. They're not Bluetooth capable, except for the speakers that are directly connected to my computer, and it'd be a pain in the ass to move all that. So I'm not doing that. So for all intents and purposes, this is a normal speaker. Pretend that it doesn't have Bluetooth. It makes a little noise so that you know it turned on. So here we go. We have the Bluetooth adapter connected here, and I'm going to play just some kind of music. Doesn't really matter what kind here. I don't know. If you guys have played The Last of Us, I guess I'll be playing a soundtrack from that, because that's actually all that I have on my phone right now. So, I don't know. Let's play this one. Oh, it's beeping. What that means is that it's actually low on battery. So, that just shows that it works. The quality, you're gonna have to trust me, is pretty good. I'll also play a video from my phone. I'll play a video of it playing songs on my phone in my car to show how you can adapt it to your car as well. That's one plus that you get, right? Because if your car doesn't have Bluetooth, you can adapt Bluetooth capability to your car. That might be something you like. And what's cool too is that if you're worried about battery in terms of, you want it to always be hooked up to your car and you don't want the battery to ever die out, this here, there's a little micro USB charger here. So you can actually plug it in and it goes red. You can plug it in, and at the same time that it's charging, you can also be adapting it to a speaker. So let's pretend that this was the 3.5mm car jack in my car, and let's pretend I wanted to plug this in. And now you have two. You have it charging and you have the speaker working. So if you want to use it for your car because your car doesn't have Bluetooth, that gives your car Bluetooth. Hopefully you wouldn't be using your phone while you're in your car, but let's say a passenger wanted to put a song on or something, and it would suffice for that. So, moving on here, speaking of battery and the fact that my battery is dying, how is the battery life on the Genround speaker? They advertise between 4 and 6 hours of use, and that's actually about what I get. I really should have charged this up before I made this review, but whatever, it's what it is. Battery works pretty well. I usually charge it for about an hour. Probably way more than I even need to, because it's only 160 milliamps. So, to put it in perspective, my phone is like 1800 milliamps or 1900 milliamps, and some phones go as high as like 25, 26, 2700 milliamps. Basically just a measure of how much charge this thing has. So this is 160, it's a very low power device, so it doesn't take a long time to charge, but the battery life is pretty damn good. What else? Distance-wise, I actually did a distance test, and I'll be showing it here. Distance is pretty good. It actually advertises 10 meters, and it goes a little bit beyond that, so I'll roll the clip of it, of me going to the end of my driveway and across my pretty wide street. And so that's as far as distance goes. One more thing I'd like to mention. The distance is pretty good, and it does go beyond 10 meters. I think it was more like 10 or 12 meters. More like 12. But if you have a house with multiple floors, let's say you have a finished basement, and, you know, you have your phone on upstairs, and you want to, you know, play a speaker from, I don't know, from your upstairs, it probably wouldn't go beyond, like, it wouldn't go 2 floors up, because there are 2 layers of concrete, or whatever the hell your house uses to support itself. 1 floor is enough. Like, if I'm on my bottom floor, like the first floor, and my phone is upstairs, I tested that, that works out, but once you go beyond that, it doesn't really work. So, it does have its limits, but you can't really expect too much, because any normal Bluetooth device, such as this one, when the Bluetooth is on, it doesn't even go beyond 15, 20 feet. So, I mean, to get 12 meters, which is approximately like 35 feet, it's even better, really. So the Bluetooth adapter works very well, and if you even wanted to use it as an extender, that would probably work as well, because it's probably a little bit better than most Bluetooth devices. Don't quote me on that, but that's just what I've observed. So as I was saying before, this thing is a transmitter and a receiver. The receiver is when you use this, you try to adapt the speaker to the phone that has Bluetooth, right? So, because most phones, tablets, and like I was saying, even stuff like the PlayStation Vita, pretty much everything, iPad, tablet, laptop, it's kind of both, it's weird, it's a transformer. Desktop computers, basically almost everything has Bluetooth these days, consoles, everything. So most devices will have Bluetooth. Some speakers don't, though. A lot of speakers don't have Bluetooth. Some devices that may not have Bluetooth, some old MP3 players, CD players probably don't have Bluetooth either. You know, if you have a device like an MP3 player that may not have Bluetooth, that is what the transmitter is for. The receiver is when the device, such as the phone, has Bluetooth and the speakers don't. You know, that's what the receiver does. But for transmitter, it would actually adapt the device that's playing the music to Bluetooth. So let's say you had a Bluetooth speaker, but you had an MP3 player that doesn't have it, or a CD player. You move this, you slide this over to transmitter here, and now all of a sudden you've changed the input, and you've given that device Bluetooth capability. So it works both ways. This device will work pretty well for you. It works well for me, I'm loving it right now. That's really all I can say about it at the moment. I've tested both. I tested it on an MP3 player, it works fine. I had to go dig and find an old one back from like 2010, get that working. It works, but I'm not as concerned about it. The thing that you really should be concerned about is most people have, their devices have Bluetooth, speakers don't. So you'll care about the speaker probably more. So especially if you're watching a tech channel, you probably have something that has Bluetooth capability. Anyway, at this point I'm rambling. What do I give this thing out of 10? I would give it an 8.5. The reason is, it bugs out sometimes. Sometimes I have to go into the Bluetooth settings and I have to hit forget this device on my phone because sometimes it just doesn't recognize it the way it should. That happens occasionally. Sometimes, yeah, it bugs out like that a little bit. Overall, I'd say it's very good. The quality diminishes a little bit, like I said before, so you're better off hooking it up directly via a cable. So if you're hooking a phone to a speaker, you're going to get a little bit better quality than if you're using a Bluetooth adapter. But that's pretty much how it is with all Bluetooth devices. Bluetooth in itself diminishes quality, which is why I'm not a huge fan of it, especially if you want good sound quality. But, I mean, if you need Bluetooth, you know, that's Bluetooth in itself. You can't blame the adapter on that, because the adapter isn't what's diminishing the quality. It's Bluetooth in itself. That is a downside of using Bluetooth at all. So I can't really take points off for that. Overall, I'd say the device works the way it should. Customer service, they're all really good. You guys are very friendly over there. It shipped quickly because I have Prime, but it should ship on time anyway. That it did for me. So thank you guys again for making it all the way to the end of this video. And before I go, I'm just going to show how this thing would work in a car that has a headphone jack but doesn't have Bluetooth, because my car doesn't. So I figured one of the best ways to test the Bluetooth adapter by Genround would be to hook it up to a car that doesn't naturally have Bluetooth. See here we're in my car, and it has an auxiliary in, and that's actually enough. Most cars should have auxiliary in, at least if they don't have Bluetooth, they probably will. So if you want your car to have Bluetooth and it normally doesn't, this is a good way to adapt it for Bluetooth. So you have this here, and there's even USB on mine, so in theory I could charge it too while I do this, so that it's always hooked up. So here we are. We have the auxiliary in, and we have it connected to my phone, so let's see how this works. So it's working pretty well. Hoping I don't get too many dislikes for that. In all seriousness, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hoping everything is, good. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And I hope you come back for the next one. So thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you on my next review.